Three companies that control $22 trillion in assets and have a plan to take over the world. This is how these three secret companies control your money and the Fortune 500 companies. When it comes to people that control your money, we may think of presidents or big companies, but BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street are the companies that control everything. You see, BlackRock, who controls more than $9 trillion in assets, owns shares in Microsoft, Apple, Google, and tons of others, making it impossible not to encounter one of these companies.
BlackRock also has shares and voting rights in many of the biggest European companies, in sectors such as energy, oil and gas, transportation, food, and of course, finance.
BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street are known as the Big Three, and all of the companies combined surpass the GDP of any country. These three companies are one of the largest shareholders in big companies like Facebook, Google, Apple, and Samsung, and in other fields like pharmacies, shoe brands, the automotive industry, airlines, banking, and many other industries. BlackRock is the biggest among the Big Three, controlling more than $9 trillion in assets. BlackRock is known as the government's fourth branch. It has so many government employees working for them, and a decision-maker in the banking system.
Our Rock, you see, wears many hats. Aside from being an investor, it is also an auditor and an advisor. Governments and central banks invite a BlackRock subsidiary called BlackRock Solutions to audit them and to provide advice about the management and rescue of banks. Yet at the same time, BlackRock is often a major shareholder in these same banks. In other words, the company often sits on both sides of the table.
But another interesting thing you may see is that BlackRock and Vanguard own a lot of State Street, and so is it the other way around. So technically they own each other, forming a powerful bunch owning everything. But the most interesting thing is that BlackRock is managed by Larry Fink. Others call him the $10 trillion man.
In January 2018, BlackRock's founder and chairman, Larry Fink, sent a letter to all of the CEOs of the companies BlackRock is invested in, asking them to do more than deliver financial performance and make a positive contribution to society.
But Larry Fink is not the only person that owns BlackRock. The top shareholder of BlackRock is none other than Vanguard. Vanguard is an investment managing company and a consultancy firm, and it owns more than $7 trillion in assets. Nobody knows who the owner of Vanguard is because it is a private company, and the owners do not want to seek attention to themselves. But the company has claimed that the owners of the group are the investing funds that Vanguard manages. A study has shown that 1% of the population owns as much as 99% of the rest of the population. This shows that the top 1% own 99%. How the elites make money is by borrowing money that will probably never be paid back, but from inflation, and invest the money in assets producing them income. And thanks to compound interest, the money grows over time. The U.S. has more than $20 trillion in debt because of the loans it has borrowed from the Fed. And the Fed, also known as the Federal Reserve, is owned by the government. So the government can choose not to pay it back, and the Fed can print money so inflation happens. By these three corporations owning most of the ultra-wealthy and huge companies, it can control if it wants to fire people, most likely leading to a global recession, because the Big Three have control of everything. These companies can also buy politics and force companies to agree and have their employers agree to only one politician, and that politician can give more assets and money to the Big Three.
How much, Joe, have you looked at, Larry Fink, Soros, State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock? How much have you looked at what they're doing and what their ties are?
I've looked at it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're pretty much running everything.
Yeah.
S&P 500, the number that 88% of the companies on S&P 500, 88% of them, the largest shareholder of those companies is either State Street, BlackRock, or Vanguard. 88% of them.
Stay safe, guys, and make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out.